Now here's Clark again. Oh, through again he goes. He's got Satutu with him. But it's Ioane, in fact. Enrico Ioane.
Right, we are at the halfway point, so we'll do that All Blacks starting 15. How about that? Form 15's a bit harder to do, I reckon. You just want to have a crack?
At the All Blacks?
We won't do the whole 36-man squad, but at this
Do the
point,
backs.
if we have a test, yeah, give me your starting... do you want to do starting backs?
Yep, from half-back out.
Yep. All right, tell me yours. Give me yours, Roger, and then I'll Joey, and then we'll do a comparison. All right, what you got there, Roger? Have you got something?
Based on Super Rugby?
Just based on, because we're at the halfway point of Super Rugby. So if we had a test match this weekend, who would be your starting back line?
Have they relaxed the laws yet?
In terms of
picking overseas players?
No, it's not going to happen.
Because if that was the case, I would be choosing Hodgman. He's been having...
He's already played for the Wallabies again. He's already played for the Wallabies, so yeah. After the 3 years since his All Blacks final test.
Nice. So halfway through the season, Rog, how are you seeing the All Blacks unfold as it stands now? Just looking at the
given the form that he's shown for the Canes, it's hard to bypass Roigard and his endeavours to be the number one in the country. And then you got guys like Finlay Christie, Cortez Ratama that will be fighting out to see who's going to be his backup. And that's the way I see it with Roigard and what he's shown, especially having come back from a bit of an injury layoff last year, and then pushing on from the end of last year to what he's showing now. He's so dynamic, the pace that he shows, the support lines, and it is, it's basically a lot of what he does is what a lot of good halfbacks are trying to do. So he's picked up from the exodus of Nugget, what's his name? Aaron Smith. And so, yeah, he takes the mantle. And then you've obviously, wait for Elise Hurricane, Perenara, who's left these shores as well. So Roigard is my number one halfback going into 10 with 39 defenders beaten so far this season, 460 metres and 97 points after 7 rounds. Damien McKenzie is my number 10.
Ooh.
75 carries and scintillating form. And number 12, Quinn Tupaya.
Oh,
13.
Okay, we're 13. Just veering off into all types of directions now.
38 defenders beaten so far. 87 carries. If it happens, I'm going with Timothy Tawatawa Nawai.
At 13.
At 13. Number 11, with 10 clean breaks, 5 tries, Kaira Toimafalo, if he makes himself available, if he goes that way. Because he's the form in terms of that, that's what he's showing. But Severis is close with the 14 offloads, 11 clean breaks as well for the Crusaders on that wing. On 14 with 13 clean breaks, 676 metres gained, 6 tries, Caleb Tangitau on 14. Closely followed with 6 tries, 9 offloads, 73 carries, Kini Naholo, showing great form for the Canes. And at the back, Will Jordan.
You've just blown up the whole team.
That's just my backs.
Robertson is you've just blown this whole team up, and now you've gone for another team. Who did you have at fullback? Sorry,
Will Jordan.
Will Jordan. Okay, Mike, Joy, you want to have a crack at the potential backline if there was a test tomorrow for the All Blacks?
Shit. Obviously D-Mac. Are we going for starters?
And what? Yeah, from 9 to 15.
From 9 out. 9 to 15.
Shit. 9 would be... Who's the starting 9 for the Blues?
Officer Tanu.
Finlay Christie for the Blues.
Finlay Christie. Yep, it'll be him.
Whoa!
Okay.
Well, are we basing it on current form, or are we talking about at the end of the season, who will be picked.
No.
If
No,
there was a
say
test tomorrow,
current form so far this season.
Shit. Well,
Come
Finley
on.
hasn't been that bad.
the comment section is going to blow up on
Coming off the bench.
teams.
I'm still going to go with Finley. Finley Christie, he's got quick service. You know, he's got that tactical awareness. Hold on. Did you say Roygaard has been playing? Oh, sorry, Finley. Roygaard.
Well, Finley's getting his
Man,
hopes up.
Mitchell Drummond. Mitchell Drummond will be over Finley Christie in my book.
Gotta choose my counties, man. Roygaard. The starting fly half will be it's a tough one between D-Mac and Bodie. I mean, D-Mac, he's got 97 points in the comp so far. He's got the versatility, he's got all that stuff. And Bodie's only just trying to prove himself now. Current form, you'd have to go with D-Mac. Centres would be obviously Rico and Geordie. Well, Geordie's not here, but, you know, we are going to pick him in the All Blacks when he comes back. Or are we only picking from Super Rugby players?
No, he'll be back, so I'll take that.
Yeah.
If you're happy with Geordie. Yeah.
Rico and Geordie would be the centres. The wings, for me, would be Sevu and Mark Telea. And then you got, who else can you have other than Will Jordan at the back? I know that kid for the Canes is doing well, but I still
Ruben
wouldn't.
Love.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick him yet. It's too soon. Too early days.
He'll be in the mix, I reckon. He'll get some experience leading into the World Cup 2027 next year.
There's a lot of chat earmarking him for Christian Cullen's status. I'm like, nah, shush.
Massive boots to fill there, especially anyone when they get labelled the next Jonah Lomu. I guess it's natural for us Kiwis to do that with the new breed.
Do you know everyone that I've ever heard of that's been given the next Jonah Lomu tag has not gone on to make it?
Yeah.
There can only be one. And he played at 75% at the most during his career.
Selections there, I will say, boys. So just looking at mine, I'm a bit more conservative, I'll probably say, in my approach. So Roygaard, I think that we're unanimous on Roygaard. I've gone for Bodie. I think Bodie at first five is the one that's experience. McKenzie doesn't have enough banana kicks for my liking. I like more banana kicks from my first five that we saw from Bodie last week.
Mate, that's like choosing Sean Johnson as more of a legend than Stacey Jones, mate.
On the left wing, I've gone for Caleb Clark. I think he holds. I think his form was compelling enough that he doesn't deserve to be dropped. So that's quite interesting. We've had three different left wings there. At second five, I've gone for something a bit different again. I've gone for Dave Havili at second five. So we've all picked different 12s. And the reason why I would like Havili is I like his ball playing and his distribution and his vision. I think he can unlock Rico Ioane at centre, because I think that he's not getting good quality ball at the All Blacks. He cops a lot of criticism. His defence is really strong. So we've seen when he hasn't been there, they've had, I can't remember that Hurricanes guy who got a go last year. He just kept on leaking. His defence was poor. And I think Ioane's a good centre. He just needs better opportunities. So Havili, unlock him with his superior ball playing. I've got Mark Telea at 14. Another guy, hasn't been great, but he doesn't deserve to be dropped. I thought he was good last year. And Will Jordan, so we're unanimous on the fullbacks. Interesting, we didn't agree. We all picked different left wings. We all picked different second fives. So there's a bit of opening there. But, only Will Jordan and Cam Roygaard we all agreed on, which says, the All Blacks positions can potentially be quite open. So it's interesting to see how it all unfolds in the second half of the season. Let us know in the comment section as well if you've got any thoughts on that. I think there was some interesting thoughts I will say there.
You know, the hype trains that have happened so far in the Super Rugby comp this season are about to be derailed. So look out for a resurgence of the mighty Blues. And I feel sorry for anyone who's put too much money on teams they shouldn't have.
Nice. Rog, mate, closing words from you, brother?
The Chiefs would just carry on doing what Chiefs do and just hang about at the top of the table. Blues home run with Moana, Crusaders, Reds.
Win.
It's going to be a tough ask. After Moana, 2 away matches to the Crusaders and then the Reds. It's a bit of a tough journey. It's going to be a tall order. Too much, too little, too late. So before my Yamanuya.
Just
Mic drop.
Just on that, Rose, that's why I think this game is really important, because those 2 games away could be crucial. If they lose this week, I think they could be done, because those 2 games after, they could be more losses. So they have
and
to
the
win.
reason
They
why I
have
say
to win
that,
this week.
how crucial it is that in the past, maybe in the last few years, you probably would have, given that they've got the Crusaders and Reds on a little bit of a road trip, you probably, not to disrespect Moana as opposition, but you may have utilised some of the depth
The
that
rest
you have.
policies.
Yep.
Yeah.
The rotation, and we've seen the detriment that there has been for some teams this year already against the draw, against Moana. So, and it's showing that respect and then risking the attrition rates as well by coming up against some of these teams. And so that's the only, it's based on that. Despite the fact that 3 weeks ago I called that the blue season was over, I'm still going to stick to that, as well as even more so. The nail in the coffin shall go in. Moana Pacifica.
Yeah, it's going to be a crucial game in the grand scheme of things. So, if anyone who can get along, get on there, support the Blues, or Moana if you're that way inclined. But just for what Rog mentioned, because it's going to be a tall order if they lose this week. You're going to have to really climb the Everest after this. So, well done, boys. Good podcast. I don't really have any final words of note, so I'll just repeat my sort of sentiments from our last pod, sort of touching on what you've been touching on throughout the season there, Joey. Because, I think just for rugby in general, we can do more to get better crowds and better fan engagement sort of around the game, because the rugby itself has been good. The competition's good. Anyone can almost compete with anyone. So we're getting to a really good point in terms of the quality of the rugby. And that comes down to the coaches. The new rules have made a big difference. And the players, they deserve a lot of credit. But now it's up to the executives, the management, and the marketing team, which is something you've talked about a lot, Joey. It's their turn to do their bit to help get the crowds back and get the buzz back into the game, because the footy on the field, it's good. It's good quality. So, they just need to work a bit more to get those crowd numbers up and get the fans more engaged. So hopefully that happens, particularly here in New Zealand, where this is a rugby union mad country. I always compare them to the Warriors. The Warriors have sold out their next home game against the Broncos. They sold it out 3 weeks in advance. And when you think about that game, we didn't really talk about it, but the Blues Hurricanes last weekend barely got 10,000 people there. So, that's a bit disappointing when you consider that the on-field performances have been good. So, come on, marketing team, administrators, whoever's doing it, you got to do your bit now. So, yep. Joe, mate, did you have any thoughts on that? What they can do a bit better? Because that's disappointing, I reckon, from my side.
Which particular team?
The Blues Hurricanes on the weekend barely got 10,000. And I'm just thinking in general, like the crowds haven't been there, the fans haven't really been turning up. And when you consider the rugby is now good, Super Rugby was Gaia for a couple of years, but now they're sorting it out. But the marketing side's still not there. So
yeah, I think they just need to take a leaf out of Moana Pacifica's book. Moana Pacifica is the newest kid on the block. And what they've done recently, they've learned from past mistakes. And as with all organizations, the biggest, I guess the biggest benefit that a company can have up front is with the recruitment. And if the recruitment is done well, then that is half the job done. And in Moana's case, to their credit, they recruited a top guy for the marketing and commercial side of things recently, or in the last year, I think. And that guy is I was just looking at Roger's hoodie there, Liston Rugby. Josh Thompson. He has been recruited into Moana Pacifica, and I've been looking deep into it, and he's actually made a massive impact since joining Moana Pacifica in the admin side of things, and it's creating a lot of positive difference in that organization, and hats off to him and his team. So the Blues just need to learn from that kind of example, recruit well into the right positions, and you've got half the job done. The other thing that I thought was a good idea, look at what Auckland FC are doing, Auckland Soccer. What they've been doing in terms of having such a stellar season. Their first season has been amazing. I think they've got one more game left in their season. Where they topped the table for many rounds, and part of the reason why they were able to smash gate takings and seat number goals and records is they really catered to the family. First of all, they made sure that their games were in the afternoon when families were okay to bring their kids out, not in the cold. And they made it so that, okay, whilst mum and dad are having fun watching the game and being around their mates, their kids are catered to with a family-friendly area, a massive slide at Mount Smart. And that slide just keeps the kids busy the whole game. And it's just something that I think is innovative. They thought outside the square. And that's just one of the things that the Blues and the likes need to really take on. Think outside the square. How are you going to bring the family back to the professional, this professional realm? How are you going to bring the family aspect or family factor back to it? Because that's what the game's missing, that community feel. And bringing the community feel back to the game that we all love, that's going to pay off in dividends, as it has with Auckland FC, as it now has with Moana Pacifica. They're gaining momentum. They're actually having this real snowball effect where all the admin is doing really well, everything in the background, the administration is doing really well, and that's making sure that the players on the field have nothing to worry about. And obviously the results are coming from it. And you've got a great leader in Ari Savea, who's shown a great example of how to prepare for matches, trainings, and all the rest of it, bringing his standards that he had at the Canes to Moana Pacifica. And look what it's doing to the players around him. They all look up to him.
Nice. Good thoughts there, Els. I think that's us. We'll just wrap it up. So the Counter-Ruck, we're available through the usual podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on YouTube as well, and many more. So keep listening. And don't forget to click subscribe. Rog, thanks, brother, for jumping on and being part of the pod. Joey, you too, mate, showing your rugby knowledge. You boys, really appreciate it. And also thanks to Cams, who does our editing. And we'll do it all again soon. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, guys.